Coming to fuzzy awareness, I stare around myself. Details from my memory are missing in large gaps as the wound on the back of my head throbs like a beacon. I climb to my feet unsteadily. There is one detail that I remember, one I could never forget. Someone I need to desperately find. I run down the corridor, checking door after door to no avail. I grasp yet another door handle, and my hand comes away slick. I glance at the confusing moisture to find my hand smeared with crimson. Sarah. Sarah? I step forward into the recesses of the dark drama study, carefully listening for anything amiss. Something faint catches my attention and I draw my gun. Someone else is in here with me. I can hear their breathing.
James.
Sarah. Oh God. You're gonna be okay, okay? You're gonna be okay.
I don't know about that, but we're in deep here.
Why are we in a school?
You don't remember? You must be feeling as bad as you look.
Speak for yourself, partner. You are losing a lot of blood here. Oh God. Just tell me who did this to you. Please, I'm begging you.
I don't know. Stone. Don't trust her.
Who's... Sarah? Sarah? I don't know what's happening. All I do know is my partner's dead. Killed by a shadowy gunman. Inside a secondary school, no less. And all of this insanity, all of it, is connected to something beginning with the letter R. Whatever, or whomever, this R person is, I can't find anything online. It just brings me to the online dictionary, and I really don't think radishes are prevalent to my investigation into my partner's death. That'd be one hell of a twist if there were. Huh? Glancing at my newly vocal phone, I saw a message from someone called Constable Roberts. He said he had information I can use. Normally I wouldn't trust something like this, but I have no other choice. I have no leads, and this is a possible chance to find out more about what happened to Sarah. I step into the alleyway, feeling the cool breeze across my back, and try to relax. My memories interrupt me. They come in unstoppable waves of suffering, beating their way into my mind, as if I'm experiencing them new. I see the three men as they enter the alley, beat me, and take my wallet as if it was yesterday. I see myself slumped down the wall, bleeding and dying, as if it was really happening again. And then, she's back again, as radiant as if she was truly alive once more.
James, I got your text. Oh, James. What happened to you?
Just a little scuffle. Don't worry about it.
You're bleeding.
I'm fine.
No, you're not, you stubborn. Here, take this.
Why the hell do you want me to have your gun?
This is for when you're back. Your back is up against the wall, you're feeling the pressure, and I'm not there to save you. I want you to promise me that you'll use this when I'm not there for you. You need to protect yourself from me.
I promise. And then she's gone. Her radiant glow replaced with the dull brick of the alleyway. The shock washes over me like a cold sluice of water, and I stand there utterly shell-shocked, reeling. She was there, and now she's gone. The cool kiss of her gun against my hip almost brings me to tears.
Well. But what a cat dragged in. I can't believe you actually turned up.
What can I say? I got a mystery message from a mystery man telling me to meet at a mysterious and frankly ridiculously named alley. Of course I'm going to turn up. Hesitantly stepping towards the portly fellow, I shake his hand and try to discern his intentions. His eyes are stone, utterly unreadable, and I have to resist the urge to recoil.
I understand you're hunting for your partner's killer in a completely suicidal mission.
You're about right. What do you have to do with the whole situation anyway?
I have some information that might, shall we say, pique your interest.
Oh? Go on.
That's me. I'm sorry, James, but I have to dash.
Wait! What did you want to tell me?
The hall in the school you woke up in. That's all I have time to tell you.
Something about this school makes me want to creep around as if the headmaster's going to give me a telling off. It's an oddly comforting feeling of nostalgia. Being in its dusty hall doesn't give me that feeling. It sends a shiver up my spine as if I'm being watched. The dusty chairs sat in rows like tombstones. The heavy curtains. Everything. I don't know why, but standing on the stage, pervading the hall, just freaks me out. What the fuck? The sound of an old creepy record player blasts from behind me in the wings. It's like a score to whatever is about to occur. I notice them just too late. Their creepy gloved fist slams into my jaw like a sledgehammer, throwing me to the floor in the process. My momentum slides me off the stage, throwing my gun across it, and the floor rushes towards me rapidly. When I wake up, only a few seconds have passed, but the cloaked creeper has already situated themselves next to me. Come here, you little shit! I roll out the way of his kick and jump to my feet, ignoring my buddy's screaming protest. I stare at the sorry bastard with their cheap mask and cloak. I could almost feel pity for the fucker if they hadn't kicked the shit out of me, quite possibly cracked a rib. As I stare, I see a sliver of white peeking from the cheap robe and snag the file for myself. Maybe this is what Constable Roberts wanted me to find. I turn away from him and begin to climb the stage to retrieve my gun. Just so you know, I'm going to rip your mask off, so I can get the pleasure of knowing who you are. Then I'm going to put a bullet through your skull. Honestly, it was... I turn around, raising my gun triumphantly, only to come face to face with an empty room and a bloodstain where my attacker once lay. Oh, for fuck's sake! Now return to the sweet embrace of home, I jimmy open the file and begin to read. Instead of secrets, I find a random assortment of letters and vowels, and with a sinking feeling I realise that it's coded. I flick through the rest of the pages and see a photo of a gas canister. I continue to flick through and see a photo of RM Industries. RM Industries. The name rings a familiar bell and I triumphantly realise that I've seen their offices before. They're situated on the other side of town. I jump to my feet and run out the room, accidentally turning on the TV. I catch a few of the presenter's closing words before I slam my door and run out into the night.
Can you believe Charlotte's turnaround?
Hiding in the brush, I watched the industrial building go about its businesses. Jumping the fence was easy. I just had no idea what to do now. As I pondered, a cold metal barrel unkindly introduced itself to the back of my head. Who is it? I slowly turned around, drawing my gun, and came face to face with an elegant woman dressed head to toe in red, clutching her gun as if it were nothing more than a mere tube of lipstick.
Not much of a detective, are you, James?
So I'm a bad detective because I don't know the name of a random stranger. What am I supposed to do? Divine it from your features by using blood and incense? Pull the other one.
Ooh, hit a nerve there, didn't I? And no, you are a bad detective because you can't guess the name of a woman whom for the last decade has been plastered all over the tabloids. Furthermore, Private Investigator James Thompson, we've met a myriad of times prior to this little run-in, so, if you wouldn't mind.
Whilst reholstering the gun I had forgotten I had, I burned with embarrassment and searched my mind for any time I'd previously met this woman. I'm sorry, Mrs...
Ms. Lynn.
Yeah, whatever. Ms. Lynn. I'm deeply sorry. I don't remember meeting you, but as you can see from my condition, I recently took a rather bad beating.
Ah, about amnesia. Understandable. Your transgression shall be forgiven. For now, anyway. Pray tell, what are you doing skulking around the outskirts of my land?
Nothing in particular. Just following a lead.
Does this lead pertain to the recent death of your dear partner?
As it happens, yes. How do you know about her?
I'm the eyes, ears, and, most importantly, brain of this town. Nothing happens without me hearing about it or having some part in it.
Right. You wouldn't have had anything to do with her death, would you?
Of course not. How misguided do you think I am? I wouldn't sink as low as murder. I'm not a common crook. Disgusting. However, Ignoring that reprehensible remark, I believe I may have some information that could be pertinent to your investigation.
And that is?
Strictly confidential, unless of course you are willing to offer your services to assist me with a little problem I have been having.
I'm listening. What's the problem?
There is a rat in my company. Some filthy criminal in my company ranks is using their power to peddle weapons of all sorts. Furthermore, if the rumourous chatter in my office is to be believed, they are using scientific facilities of a school I built to create ungodly abominations of weaponry, which they then sell to the highest bidder.
A school? What school?
Here, look at my phone.
I know that school. It's the one I got the bump on my head in. It's the one she died in.
Exactly. This embarrassmental employee probably has something to do with your tragedy.
Who is he?
Charlie Billum burnt his face at a devastating chemical accident a few years back. It made the poor fellow bitter and selfish. He always wore a mask and snapped at people after that. Give the poor sod that honour at least. Leave his mask on.
What do you want me to do to him, Miss Lynn?
I simply cannot have him ruining both mine and my company's reputation. I help people. Save them. I can't have this man perverting that. Kill the bastard.
I'm sure the irony wasn't lost on her. She wants me to preserve her reputation of saving people, her facade of peace, by making me kill a man. A few days ago, killing an innocent man would have bothered me, I think. But now I'm just excited. A tingling sensation is building in my veins as I think about making the one who possibly killed her go through the same pain tenfold over. I focus on the soothing rocking of the bus and try to zone out. But then she's there, radiant as ever.
I love you, James. And I will never stop loving you.
Is that excitement right, though? The more I think about it, the more it sickens me. Sarah would be disappointed by me seeking revenge and death, surely.
I know it's tough, but when I'm gone, you're going to have to do everything you need to survive for me, okay? Just don't screw it up. Just keep living. Don't screw it up for me.
Did Sarah ever say that? She must have. I have to do this for her. I have to do this to keep living. I can't screw this up. Charlie's house rises out the street like a menacing thumb. Short and squat, the building looks deeply uninviting. For a moment I think about just going home with a glass of whiskey and having a little cry, but I decide against it. I mustn't screw this up. I draw my gun. The door goes down quicker than I'd expect, and I'm greeted with an even more oppressive interior. The dark, shadowy corners beckon to me, and I creep into the crypt. After 20 minutes of fruitless searching, I determine that there is nothing downstairs. Resolving myself, I begin to walk up the stairs, wincing at every creak and groan of discomfort the stairs produce. The wall above me explodes in splinters, and I manage to duck around the corner before Charlie manages to readjust his aim. My ears ring and I wait. Taking my opportunity, I rush up and attempt to wrestle the gun out of his hands. He shoves me back and we both end up wrestling on the ground momentarily, whilst I fruitlessly reach for my gun and he does the same. At some point he manages to roll off me and disappear down the stairs. God damn it! I grab his strange submachine gun from the floor, marvelling at its odd red hue, and rush down the stairs myself. The back door hangs open and I tumble out to find Charlie, the mass tragedy, attempting and failing to scale the garden fence. I stare on pityingly for a moment.
Don't screw this up for me.
Tucking Charlie's odd gun into my backpack, I leave, carefully shutting the doors behind me.
Ah, hello, James. Did you handle all that unpleasantness with our friend Mr. Billum? What the heavens is that?
One of Charlie's abominations. It appears to be an uber compact SMG. Doesn't matter anyway, he's dead. What do you know?
Well done, Private Investigator James Thompson. You've really outdone yourself by recovering the experimental weaponry. Now, the information I perceive that you're after is of course not the largest revelation I could possibly deal you, unfortunately. But it is rather enlightening, at least.
Okay then. What is it?
I heard through the grapevine that old boy Charlie had a contact in the police that was heavily involved with your partner's death.
What are you on about? Who?
I believe you've met him before?
You son of a bitch. The alleyway is just as unaccepting as before, but now my blood is boiling, I don't seem to mind that much. Stood cockily across from me, nervously shifting on his heels, is that lying bastard, Constable Roberts.
So this is how we're gonna play it, is it?
Until you give me the truth, yes.
There's nothing to tell. I just follow orders.
Then who gives you the orders?
That is on a need-to-know basis, mate.
I raise my gun and stare directly into the stony eyes of the lying bastard. Tell me now, I won't ask again. Who gives the orders? For a moment, his stony eyes flicker, but then they re-cement and he pulls out a switchblade in one smooth motion.
None of your business. Just drop it, mate.
Looking at his granite build and obsidian eyes, I realise something. He is built exactly like the attacker in the school hall. It was you in the hall. I bet you killed her.
I didn't kill
You
her.
son of a bitch. I'm gonna make you feel every ounce of pain she felt.
Come on now, lad. Wait a minute. Just drop it, mate. Walk away now.
I glance at the monolith before me, and then at my gun and then back and forth. Robert senses a shift in me and rushes towards me just as I fumble the gun back into my grip. I feel his blade as it slides between my ribs, nicking a few veins along the way, in an oddly warm sensation. I clutch the wound, feeling the hot blood seep against my grimy fingers. I glance at Roberts lying in a rapidly expanding pool of his own blood, and shortly look away in disgust. Taking 2 steps towards the exit of the alleyway, I stumble straight to the ground. Now on Robert's level, I see pages peeking out of his pocket. I clutch them and ram them into my own just before I slip into the nothingness. Out of the void, she arrives. Surrounded by nothingness, she lights up everything in a stunning array of radiance. Sarah, I love you, you know that. I know you'd want me to keep going on, find out what those pages say. But I'm exhausted. I don't think I can do this anymore. Especially not with a bloody stab wound.
I loved you. And you know that, so please don't disappoint me. You know what I want, and that's what you need to do.
Please, Sarah, I just can't anymore. I think I need to go to the hospital. I need to give up.
Don't you dare. I love you, and you will finish this to completion. It is what I would have wanted you to do.
Right. Okay. The real world comes back into full focus as I clamber out of the nothingness and back into reality. Fingering the blood-soaked pages, I begin to read, and with a stroke of luck, they aren't in code. Project Flintlock has to be our most successful operation yet. The public still believe our boss is a saint, because they throw a couple of $100,000 to charity every so often. This brilliant cover-up to hide our experimental weapons department has worked wonders. We are bringing in billions monthly, and are practically impenetrable thanks to multiple fail-safe fall guys. These fall guys take blame for crimes and keep the boss safe in case anyone gets suspicious. This security and income ensures that we all stay rich for a very long time. We owe all of this to the deviser and creator of Project Flintlock. A boss who built this company from the remains of a failed crime family. The letter stubbornly ends there, with the swooshy logo of the RM Board of Directors. As I think about it, every piece clicks into place, and I start to remember. I remember now. It was the night Sarah died, about an hour before I woke up. I don't like this one bit.
Me neither. I hate it, in fact.
Yeah, Charlotte catches us snooping into her shady businesses, and the first thing she does is hire us to hunt down an arms dealer. That's real...
Dodgy. I know, right? Righty then. I'm going to search the dorm wing. You search these classrooms. See you later.
Love you, partner.
I love you too.
You be careful. I don't know what I'd do without you.
I don't deserve you. Promise me this, though. If I ever go do whatever is necessary to survive, whatever it takes, don't follow me into nothingness, please.
I promise. And there you go. She walked off to die, and I searched the classrooms. Inevitably, Charlotte appeared and pistol whipped me, leaving me knocked out against a wall. Charlotte woke up with a startling giggle. She vaguely remembered a bleeding James barging his way into office rudely and silently approaching her. After that, she thinks he pistol whipped her, but she can't quite remember. Why'd you do it? Tell me! Charlotte had to resist the urge to giggle at James's beaten look. He was obviously on the verge of death, and here he was still trying to avenge his long-dead partner, instead of saving himself.
Do what, my dear investigator?
Don't play dumb with me. I have neither the time nor patience for it. Why did you send me on a wild goose chase instead of just avoiding me?
Ah, I suppose the jig is up then. I had assumed so. For your information, the plan wasn't supposed to end like this. That was an utter accident that I can only blame on my employee's incompetence.
Why'd you make me kill Charlie?
My, what would dear old Sarah think about you killing someone in cold blood?
Keep her name out of your fucking mouth.
Okay, Mr. Touchy. He was just a loose end that needed to be tied, really.
That's fucking deplorable. And for your information, Sarah would be proud that I managed to get rid of many of you lot and survived to tell the tale. Proud that I got rid of Roberts.
Oh God, I'm glad that grossly incompetent imbecile is 20,000 leagues under. That idiot had a reputation for accidentally leaking documents that apparently followed him right up to his bloody death. I should have thought about that, to be honest. And anyway, are you sure you're going to survive to tell the tale? Are you really? Every time you move, that wound on your chest bleeds more, and you make the same wounded noise as my father did and slowly died to his burns.
Jesus, you're actually mental, aren't you? Just shut up!
You are an hourglass, and your life is draining out of you, one grain of sand at a time, Jamesy James. You excited to meet Sarah again?
I told you to shut up.
You cared so much for her. Aw. She's the reason you're here right now. That toxic bitch allowed you to get all in your head, permanently guilt-tripped. I don't know why you're even trying. Both our ships have sunk, and as much as you're desperately clinging on to your driftwood, it obviously isn't going to work. We both know you're going to spend so long drowning me, so to speak, that you're going to run out of time and the current will drag you under too. Poor James, all lost without Sarah. I haven't the faintest...
I'm so sick of you constantly talking. James crumpled to the floor, clutching Sarah's gun, and as he stared into the infinite complexities of the universe above him, he wondered if it was worth it. A twinge of regret reverberated through him as the tendrils of the dark reached for his mind and started to pull him into the great nothingness. Sarah, where are you? James, a Scothbob Productions production. Written and directed by Theodore Scotland. Frankie Weiser as Constable Roberts and Charlotte Lynn. Oliver as Sarah. Theodore Scotland as James and the narrator. Audio effects from Pixabay. Music from the YouTube audio library. Edited by Theodore Scotham.